Welcome, friends, to Dara country. Yarana Budri Gomada. May we all walk with good spirit. Didri Goda, and thank you.
We welcome leaders of federal parliament, state government, Waverley and Woollahra councils, leaders of many Jewish communal organisations, synagogues, schools, ministers and esteemed rabbis. What we plan for the future of this synagogue is for it to become not just a place of worship, but a spiritual and a cultural centre. We are trying to beautify and put new life into Emanuel and the wider community. And this redevelopment will achieve that. The sanctuary forms the heart of Millie Phillips building that also incorporates a state-of-the-art preschool for 60 children. Millie Phillips is not here with us today, but we are welcoming her daughter Sharon. Thank you very much for coming and joining us today. Personally, I'm honoured and feel fortunate to have been given the opportunity to be part of a team that has delivered this long anticipated space. None of this would have been possible without the support and the hard work of our board, staff, clergy, builders, and the more than 350 donors who provided the funds to help make this a reality. Thank you.
This space that we're sitting in today is no longer a building site. And tonight, it's been transformed into a sanctuary filled with people and filled with community, which is what it was designed to do. It's not just a prayer space, but it will in time become a cultural centre, and on the level below us downstairs, a new preschool and a playground which will be filled with children. The triangular structure, which is inherent to the architectural DNA, was developed for maximum strength and efficiency. But importantly, it also refers to the Star of David. And you'll experience that while you're in the space and throughout the sanctuary. So too the artworks on the glass walls of the courtyard, the north wall behind me here and the west wall, which serves as a privacy screen to the neighbours, which is composed of triangles and forms the religious motifs, bringing coloured light into our consciousness. Thanks very much, and I hope you all have a nice night.
In 1938, our founders also had an ambitious vision to create a community and a home for Jews with progressive values, and we are thriving. 80 years later, with 3 beautiful sanctuaries, we start our newest chapter, giving us a foundation from which we can further grow and thrive. What happens next is how the community of Emanuel Synagogues builds on these foundations. How will each of you engage with these wonderful spaces? How will each of you celebrate our values in this context of this beautiful built environment? I throw the challenge to you, and I hope, as I look around here at so many fourth and fifth generations, that we can look back and our children can look back and celebrate. It's not often that we can stand here and say, as Jews, we've had the one home for over 5 generations. Mazel tov to all the community.
Thank you so much for inviting me. So it's a very, very special place. I congratulate you. The acoustics are amazing, and everything else is amazing too. It's really, really good. Do not separate yourself from the community is a beautiful injunction, and this building represents that idea of not separating from yourself from the community, being part of the community, just as the Aboriginal elders' smoking ceremony and his words was saying, we are part of our community, we have a shared destiny and a common future, and we need to celebrate our communities together. So Malcolm wrote, Emanuel Synagogue has a reputation for being an open and inclusive space where Jewish people of all natures and creeds come together for the spiritual fulfillment offered by worship. I believe that this new sanctuary will encourage many more to come and to reflect and strengthen their bonds with this wonderful community. We could not imagine Australia without the contribution of the Jewish community to our civic life. We're richer and more fulfilled as a nation because of the contribution of members of the Jewish community and institutions such as the Emanuel Synagogue. I wish you all mazel tov and all the very best for this wonderful occasion. So I join with Malcolm, and we wish you all the best, and may you have many celebrations, many moments of reflection, and many special times here. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. It is a beautiful facility. You know, when I walked in tonight and I saw those wonderful glittering lights on the left of the where you practice Mazorti, the twinkling lights inside that much more traditional sanctuary, through to our beautiful heritage-listed sanctuary just next door, combined with this extraordinarily modern feature. But the other one I wanted to draw people's attention to is one that, if I paraphrase, which underlies the same point that Lucy was making tonight. And it says, out of the Torah, how good and how pleasant it is that brothers and sisters dwell together. You know, that is what Emanuel is about. Inclusiveness, warmth, social conscience and cohesion. It is those characteristics, more than any other, that distinguish you as a local community of mine. There is nothing more for me to say than purely Mazel Tov.
And right over there, of course, it's on the cover of the brochure, and it says, Ve'asuli migdash ve'shachanti betocham, make me a sanctuary so that I may dwell among you. And as you realize, this is just one of the teachings of our ancestors that was chosen by my fabulous clergy team, all of us having wonderful conversations, pouring through scripture, the prayers, rabbinic writing, saying, what's the message we want to give to our community, this beautiful sacred space? Ed, you have done this with incredible commitment to the community. You referred to the Torah itself. You've been a member of this community for many years, and you've done this with thoughtful consideration of the stories and the values of our people, and it's been wonderful to work with you throughout this process. This passage from Exodus reminds us that while the infinite is always present, structured space and structured time enable us to encounter it. That's why we have our festivals like Pesach and Shavuot and Shabbat, and that we count the Omer. But we also need, of course, structured space. This sanctuary, as well as our heritage and Neuweg sanctuaries, all provide a place for relationship and community where we converse about the essence of being. As we affix the mezuzot tonight, we consecrate this sanctuary as sacred space, and in so doing, honor those who have made Emanuel Synagogue the spiritual community center it is becoming even more.
Shema